Hello all, it's Melinda. Today I want to bring you another random Pinterest pick, and today is number 36. And I am scared of this one a little bit, but we're going to go with it. It is Sketchability's 110, and I've pulled some stencils that have the splatters and whatnot. I even have some stamps that are kind of ringy, and I might pull those. I have this photo that I have in my stash. It's one of my original photos of the first house my husband and I bought. 25 years ago or so. So it is not the best looking photo, but I have these Vintology overlays from Hampton Art. Got them on clearance at Joann's for less than $3. And I kind of like how this brings your eye right into the house itself. So I think I'm going to use that. I pulled some tabs that I punched with my McGill tab punch. This is out of an inside of a security envelope, and this is just out of a Project Life card. I have them in this little bowl. I often punch my junk mail because they have cool patterns on the inside of the envelopes. I've pulled a heart and a flare badge and a doily. I have some tags from Heidi Swap. Also, I got them on clearance at Joann's, but the price tag's not on them still. And like I said, I pulled some stencils. This is a Dusty Attic stencil, a Tim Holtz splatter stencil. This is a Rhonda Palazar 6x6 and another Rhonda Palazar 12x12, and it's got splats on it, so I think I'll use those. The sketch has this scalloped edge, and I like this ruler paper, and I noticed that it has this scallop on it, so I might end up using that. If not, I might use my punch and scallop another pattern paper if I find I want to bring another color in. Right now it seems to be monochromatic, or I don't know what they call browns, blackishes, and whites. So kind of dull, but we'll see. This is a watercolor paper that I have put clear gesso on. I'm thinking of using my Distress inks. I have browns and blacks in this one, and grays. So I might use that. And I'm thinking of doing some layers behind the photos in this Tim Holtz Ideology tissue wrap. It's got different things. So I will stick you on fast forward and see what else I need to pull for this. Thanks for watching. I'm going to mix up one of my browns that I have with some water. I've decided that I'm going to make the brown the drippy part. And this is the part that makes me nervous because I don't know how this is going to react and how wet I need to have it to make it run, and it's unpredictable. So this is what makes me a little bit nervous. And I'm being really timid about it and fretting about it a little bit because I didn't really want it to be some big mess, and it wasn't running in straight drips. And I'm going to use my heat gun to kind of maybe spread it a little bit and dry it so it's not quite so bad. I had no real idea what I wanted it to look like other than I wanted it to be drippy. But I don't know. It's done. Most of it gets covered up. I'm not a big fan of brown either, so that could be why I'm like a little iffy on it. I decided to definitely commit to that overlay. And I'm just going to rip a couple sheets of this and layer this up behind the photo. This Tim Holtz tissue paper is a tad bit, I don't know, waxy texture. I don't know if that's the term I want to use. It's definitely thicker than just regular tissue paper, like it's got a coating on it. So it's heavy duty and it rips nicely. I just wanted to add a couple layers behind there, and I know I want to add the doily there. Kind of setting everything up so to see if I like it. I'm going to use 2 tags. Now they're long right now, so I'll be cutting those off. And that one is just too dark. It just kind of pulls your eye away from the photo. So this one has a little more browns in it. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to cut this to see if I like it. I thought about cutting the scallops with the scissors. I thought I'd try this before I did that in case it was too much work. I decided that this is going to work for me. This stencil, the ring goes right around the doily perfectly, so I thought that would look nice there. I'm going to start out just by putting the black soot on. I will go back and add the brown to it. And I'm just going to sponge on more black soot here. And this is where I add in a little bit of brown. Gives the black a little bit more depth. And I'm just kind of randomly putting these in a row. The sketch has these rings in a row. Honestly, I don't particularly like the end result. I mean, it's not bad, but this is not something I normally do. So it took me a little bit to figure it all out. I'm going to put a couple staples in these because there's 4 sheets and they're just kind of floating. I'm going to add a little bit of brown to this. I decided to add another one of these double rings. And then some of the splotches. I'm making them go off the page. I think that's where I end it with the sponging. I'm going to flick some of this brown onto that line. When I roll it off, it kind of ends up being really faint. You can see it in the close-ups, but that's about it. I'm going to end up putting reinforcers on those tags that came with them. But for now, I'm going to leave them like that. I'm not sure what I lost. Oh, I lost the other tab. It ends up being underneath the photo, so I stopped worrying about it, and there I find it. So I cut the tags off. Just trying to figure out which layer I'm going to stick those tabs in. I'm going to put my part of my title on them. I'm looking through my color bin of brown ephemera, And I'm looking for something to go behind the flare badge. And I decided that this little circle, it's kind of got dots on it, would work. And these are from Documentary Paper Pad. They're just a bunch of labels. I cut them all apart and put them in their color bins. I love those labels. I'm debating on where I'm going to stick my journaling, and I thought about putting another tag behind there. I'm just going to use the black reinforcers that came with the tags, and I'm thinking that the journaling can go there on the side by that cluster. Just trying to hold everything together while I stick it down, because once I have it in place, I don't really want to move it without really paying attention to where I'm putting it. I'm going to create a pocket for this journaling tag to slide in and out. I do this a lot. It just seems to be the easiest way to add journaling and not have to have it show. And it's not even that I'm hiding the journaling, it's just I didn't account for it in my design. I'm using score tape to attach just a piece of cardstock to the back so that there's something flat for the card to slide against. Don't have to worry about staples or anything. And then I hold it where I want it to go. And I take this Scott's foam adhesive and I lay it down on each side. So I create a channel, and then I create a stopper. And then I put more so it makes the whole layer to be the same height. And I just carefully sit this where I want it to be. And now to put everything kind of back together. Just trying to create this little cluster here at the edge. I'm going to put everything down. Still can't figure out what layer I'm going to stick those tabs in. But I decide I'm just going to stick them down so they look nice. Because of all the foam adhesive behind the photo cluster, I'm going to need to put some behind these items as well so they kind of lay straight and level. I'm just going to use some dimensional foam or dimensional Zots for the flare badge. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to get this to stay level. To do that, I got to have foam on part of it. Just trying to figure out what part. I'm going to double up the foam on part of it. And I think I end up regretting that, and I pull a piece off. But I use it on the other side, so it all works out. And this is where I realized things aren't just aren't sticking. So I think that works. I finally cut that, so that stays there. I'm going to sprinkle plain Jane kohl. Some big drops and some small drops. I like the variation. Just going to use some of the string out of the tag pack, that Heidi Swap tag pack. It's kind of a creamy white color. And put that in both the tags, even though they don't get pulled, and also in the journaling part that does get pulled. I decide, which I thought I would, I think I should have done this before, I'm going to put some text stamp just kind of underneath and around the photo areas, just to kind of add another layer. I should have done it before I stuck everything down, but It was a last minute decision. Trying to figure out where else I want to stamp it. And I decide up here. These are Jelly Bean Soup brown letter stickers. I've had them for a few years. This was my idea of how to replace my October afternoon letter stickers when they went out of business. I don't love these as much as I love October afternoon stickers, but they're out of business, so I can't get those anymore. The title ends up being First Home, and then I put the year down in this little tag, 1994. After conferring with my husband, that's officially when the year we bought the house. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do. Oh, I'm gonna draw lines on the tag, and I end up journaling on both sides of the tag. I don't normally do that, but I had a lot more to say than what I thought. I probably should have used a bigger tag, but I don't make you watch me. This is the slow close-ups, so you can see the layers. There's plenty of still shots at the end to check everything out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love the layout, but it's done and it tells the story of our first house. So I decided to go in and do some stapling, more for just the look, not necessarily because it needs to be held down. And I show you that. Just one on the tag. Doesn't really hold anything. I want to thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I do this about once a week with the random Pinterest pick. That seems to be a popular thing.